Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can someone hear me? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'm audible. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshvapadreshu nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki Krishne swadhamopagate dharma jnana adibhi saha kalo nashtadrisham esha puranarko adudoritaha Srimad Bhagavata Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramahamsyam Ekam Amalam Jnanam Param Giyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkritam Tat Shunvan Supathan Vicharano Paro Bhaktya Vimuchya Naraha Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate Tatra Samratam Triptasya Nanyatra Syadrati Kvachet Ya Etat Shravayan Nityam Yamakshanam Ananyadihi Shlokam Ekam Tadartam Va Padam Padartam Eva Sav Shraddhavan Yo Anushrunyo पुनाति आत्मानं एव सः कृष्णतुल्य भागवत विभु सर्वश्रया प्रतिश्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थकया प्रेममय भागवत कृष्णेर श्री अंग ताहाते कहेन यथा गोप्य कृष्णेर अंग आदि मध्ये अन्त्ये भागवते एकया विष्णु भक्ति नित्य सिद्ध अक्षय व्यया भागवत शास्त्रे से भक्तिर तत्व कहे तेरी भागवत समा कोनो शास्त्र न है हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Hare Krishna. So we are continuing with the chapter 18 from Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, can someone help me remind from where are we supposed to continue the purports? At least I think text we read everything, or maybe we are supposed to read the purports from first verse.
I think we read the text. Maybe Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu can tell me. Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu, could you remember that?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. Can someone else remember? Okay. As far as I remember, I think we are supposed to read from after Kashyapa Muni has given um, all the instructions how to perform the vrata, yeah, and to beget a son. So from there we are supposed to read smiled and spoke out as follows. So from verse number 30, I mean, I didn't want to explicitly go into greater detail here. That's why I didn't cover, because there are some verses which are telling what is the, yeah, a husband is a supreme demigod for women, and these are something we have covered in the past. So reiterating may not help much unless someone want. If someone has a question, we can go to that. So as far as I remember, we are supposed to cover from here, 44. Is it okay if we cover from 44?
Yeah, we will start. Mhm.
We read from 22, the last one. We started from 22.
Yeah, the text was from 22, I remember, but the purports I think we didn't cover. Yeah. So we didn't cover any purport from 22 to 75.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think then we can leave those from 22 to 44 for your self-reading, and then we will go to verse 44 and then take it from there. Yeah. Or even 43. प्रतिश्रुतं ददामीति वचस्तन् न मृषा भवेत् वदं नार्हति चेन्द्रोऽपि तत्रेतम् उपकल्पते. So he's saying, I promised to give her a benediction, and this promise cannot be violated. But Indra does not deserve to be killed. Hmm? So in these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable. So every person is responsible for his dealings. One cannot say that, oh, my wife, because of my wife, I'm doing like this, or some wife cannot say that because of my husband, I'm doing like this. After all, we have to cooperate together. Otherwise, the families can break apart and, all these things. But we should also understand we have a responsibility to our own capacity that we don't get entangled. This is what yeah, if we see in Ramayana, we can see Dasharatha. Uh, of course, one may say, hey, the destiny was like that, but still, it was not that he was allowed to cross the law of righteousness. That because you remember there was a curse upon him, and he can't just because he has son, Lord Ramchandra as his son. So now no more effects. Sometimes we may think that I am serving the Lord, so there will not be any effect of any curses upon us. We can do whatever we want. No, here we can see in the case of Dashrata, in spite of Ramchandra appearing in his own home, family, still Dashrata had to face the curse. And at the same time, how it manifested is something a lesson for us that, okay, one cannot just mm, be uh, dealing um, in a grahamedi way, rather one should deal in a grahastha way. So yesterday also when I was going through a Bhagavatam verse, this was no, sorry. Yes, I was reading about His Divine Grace Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yeah, so when I was reading about his biography, there was his lifestyle, which was saying that okay, in spite of being a very in a prestigious role as a British magistrate, yeah, taking all responsibilities, and in spite of that, yeah, his life is dedicated to Krishna consciousness. Yeah, he was completely dedicated in writing various books and various poems, and yeah, and at the same time doing sadhana and all these things he was expertly doing. And it doesn't mean that he was a sannyas, that he doesn't has any family responsibilities to take care. He was leading a sannyas level of austerity, but he was a grihastha. And he used to come at 6 o'clock or 5 or 6 o'clock, and then he takes some rest for 4 5 hours and get up in the mid of night. And then for next 5 6 years, he used to accomplish all, whether it's chanting, writing, and everything he used to cover. And again, he used to get ready and then go and do his. So the point is, one cannot say, no, I have responsibilities of taking care of my wife, taking care of my children. Yes, all these responsibilities should not be a distraction for becoming or advancing in devotion. and it's at most important for the grihasthas, yeah, whether it is wife or husband or both, to ensure that one is not affected by anarthas. Yes, no. All of us have anarthas, yes, yeah. But then we should also be careful that okay, who is responsible? That if one is falling and if we just hold their hand, yeah, if we are not expert, we will fall down. Rather, we should see how a falling condition can be avoided. Yeah, prevention is better than cure. Or if it is actually happening, how one can um, take support or give support, yeah, both, in both the ways. So that's why it is said grihastha life is such a powerful mechanism through which one gets purified. Yes, of course, because grihastha life is full of sacrifices. Grihastha life, initially we think that it's for actually coming together, for enjoying together, for forgetting the world. But grihastha has a different responsibility altogether. It is for actually to appreciate devotional service in the mode of sacrificing. Sacrificing doesn't mean that sacrificing one's comfort. Sacrificing also means sacrificing one's own selfish interest or selfish motives, so that then we can hope for a change, because we all want to advance. Yeah. So Kashyapa Muni here, he was thinking, oh, I promised to give her a benediction. And of course, yeah, what to do when a promise is given? In the case of Dashratha Maharaj, he gave a promise. And of course, but what could he do? He couldn't do harm. At least here, what Kashyapa Muni is saying in the Purport Prabhupada says, Kashyapa Muni concluded, Diti is eager to have a son who can kill Indra, since she is a woman after all and is not very intelligent. In today's world, in Kali Yuga, we don't know who is intelligent. Is it man or woman or both or not both? We don't know. Yeah, we can just read it on a general note rather than seeing on a biased approach on a or male or female domination. No, here we should understand. I shall train her in such a way that instead of always thinking of how to kill Indra, she will become a Vaishnava, a devotee of Krishna. So that's why it's very important to have laulyam. So mm, this is a quality through which, of course, sometimes we may burn hands, but actually one should be intelligent to ensure that we can still continue to practice bhakti to as much as possible without compromise. The other example, I mean, of course, I think maybe we may spend only this verse or next couple of verses. The other example is about uh, King Vasudeva. When Kamsa wanted to kill Devaki, then yeah, it's so nice. We can read in the Krishna book in the first chapters to see what kind of condition it was. And Vasudeva, he tried different ways. Of course, he didn't cheated. Yeah, he gave a word that okay, if you have problem with the eighth son, yeah, all the other sons, yeah, or the progeny, whoever, yeah, I will bring it to you. And he also stick on that. Yeah, it is not that okay to just avoid situation. Let me do something, tell something. No, what we tell, if we don't do, then we break the promise. When we break the promise, it has its effects. So Vasudeva has kept to his word, and Dasharatha also kept his word. Kashyapa Muni also kept his word. So here's something to establish to protect dharma. Still, Kashyapa Muni he is saying, okay, but let's find a way so that when through satisfying the partner, or here in this case, Diti, Kashyapa Muni arranged such a way that she could develop Vaishnava qualities and become a Vaishnava. If she agrees to follow the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava principles, the unclean core of her heart will certainly be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Now, sometimes, oh my God, this can become a Grahastha seminar. Um, but yeah, sometimes we hear, oh, my husband is not a devotee, what to do? Oh, my wife is not devotee, what to do? Or And yeah, there are ways. Here we say ultimately we should find options of how this Cheta Darpana Marjanam happens. This is the process of devotional service, Prabhupada writes. And anyone can be purified by following the principles of devotional service in Krishna consciousness. For Krishna consciousness is so powerful that it can purify even the dirtiest class of men and transform them into the topmost Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement aims at this purpose. Narottam Das Thakur says, ब्रजेंद्र नंदन ये सचिसुता है सचिसुता हैला से पलराम हिला निटाय दीनहीन यतचिला हरिनामे उद्धारिला त आर साक्षी जगाय मदाय. So the example Narottam Das Thakur is saying just unimaginable Jagai Madai were transformed and they got topmost benediction of love of Godhead of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can hope, yeah, of course, we don't know how in comparison to them we are good or bad. But at least there is a hope that even the dirtiest class of men transform and transform them into the topmost Vaishnavas. What is the process? Process of devotional service. The appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga is especially meant to deliver the fallen souls who are always planning something for material enjoyment. This class, if I mean, what we are discussing, if it would have been face to face, it would have a better flavor. But just to have a glimpse of what it can offer is the appearance. Yeah, I really like this. That may not all of us know about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at all, or to a good level. So the other day, there was a question. His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu was asking, who wants to go to Gaur? Who has, yeah, Gaura. So the world of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who wants to go towards Krishna? Vraja Leela. Who has taste for Vraja Leela? Who has taste for Gaur Leela? Who has taste for both? Of course, sometimes we don't have taste for both. That's a different thing. But yeah, so usually we may know a bit more about Lord Krishna, and we start appreciating greatness of Krishna because he has killed the demons. He has done impossible things very easily. And in fact, then there is so much description available in Bhagavatam that we are reading and the 10th canto. And of course, we have a taste for Lord Krishna's pastimes and also his holy dham. And yeah, all this is nice. Here we can see the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga is especially meant to deliver the fallen souls. Usually, I don't know, I mean, yeah, there are definitely pastimes of Lord Krishna, but he is not coming in the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, he is in the mood of mm, Gopi Bhav. He was relishing the conjugal mellows with the gopis or Vatsalyaras with the associates who are in the Ragatmika Bhakti. And um, what about us? Now we are in Kali Yuga, not in Dwapar Yuga. Oh, in Kali Yuga, the world is of a different uh, dimension altogether. So it is so nice that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming is a blessing. That's why this is called the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Avatar is called Golden Avatar, and the era in which we are now is called Golden Era. And this golden era will be there for 10,000 years. And it just started 500 years back. Yeah. So we are very fortunate, and by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can get Krishna. And again, oh, is it for that reason we approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? No. When we appreciate the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he is none other than Krishna, we will start developing the taste that, oh, I aspire for his mercy. In fact, he is come for that, so it's perfect, right? We want something, and the Lord appears exactly to give that. What else do we need? Okay, so we go further. So once one becomes a pure Vaishnava, he transcends all material conceptions of life. Thus, Kashyapa Muni tried to transform his wife into a Vaishnavi so that she might give up the idea of killing Indra. He wanted both her and her sons to be purified so that they would be fit to become pure Vaishnavas. So that's what it means when we say um, sensible. And Kashyapa Muni, he said, of course, sometimes a practitioner deviates from the Vaishnava principles, and there is a chance that he may fall down. But Kashyapa Muni thought that even if one falls while practicing the Vaishnava principles, he is still not a loser. This is a saving grace. Uh, Even a fallen Vaishnava is eligible for better results as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even practicing the Vaishnava principles to a small extent can save one from the greatest dangers of material existence. Thus, Kashyapa Muni planned to instruct his wife to become a Vaishnava because he wanted to save the life of Indra. So, in this way, yeah, it's a matter when we're talking about devotees, when we want to become devotees, it means a great responsibility of maintaining these qualities. Then hite sanchintya bhagavan marichah kurunandana uvacha kinchit kupita atmanam cha vigra sorry vigarhayan. Yeah. So, and then Kashyapa Muni is saying, Putraste bhavita bhadre indraha deva bandavaha samvatsaram vratam idam yadi anjo dharayishyasi. Yeah? So, if you perform one vrata for 1 year, then of course you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. That is okay. But then however, if you deviate from this vow of following Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. So, in this shlok, in this particular verse, let me try to get this. Yeah. So, in the purport, anyway, Prabhupada is writing the word Indraha. Indraha, ha means Satya, and Indraha means one who is the killer of. Indraha, the word Indraha refers to an Asura who is always eager to kill Indra, an enemy of Indra. So Indraha is naturally an enemy of Indra is naturally a friend to the Asuras. Okay. But the word Indraha also refers to one who follows Indra and who is obedient to him. When one becomes a devotee of Indra, he is certainly a friend to the demigods. Thus, the word Indra Hadeva Bandhavaha, Bandhava means relative or equivocal for, say, your son will kill Indra, but he will be very friendly to the demigods. So, if a person actually becomes a friend of the demigods, he certainly would not be able to kill Indra. That is the logic there. दितिरुवाच धारयिष्ये व्रतं ब्रह्मन् ब्रूहि कार्याणि यानि मे यानि चेह निषिद्धानि न व्रतं ज्ञन्ति यानि उत. So please clearly state all this to me because I must accept your advice and follow the vow. She said, now let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden, what will not break the vow, etc. All these things. Prabhupada mentions, a woman is generally inclined to serve her own purposes. Kashyapa Muni proposed to train Diti to fulfill her desires within 1 year. And since she was eager to kill Indra, she immediately agreed, saying, please tell me. This is another, okay. Yeah, you may read further about this from purport 46. And Kashyapa Muni starts he telling, Na himsyat bhuta jatani, na sapen, nantram vadet, na chindyan nakha romani, na sprishedyat amangalam. Do not cut your hair, nails, and do not touch impure things like skull and bones. Prabhupada mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kashyapa Muni first instruction to his wife was not to be envious. The general tendency of anyone within this material world is to be envious, and therefore here to become a Krishna conscious person, one must curb this tendency as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Paramo nirmatsaranam. This is in the first chapter, first canto. A Krishna conscious person is always non-envious, whereas others are always envious. Thus, Kashyapa Muni instructed that this his wife to not be envious indicates that this is the first stage of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Kashyapa Muni desired to train his wife to be a Krishna conscious person, for this would suffice to protect both her and Indra. नाप्सु स्नायान् न कुप्येत न संभाषेत दुर्जनैः न वसीताद्भुतौ वासः सृजं च विद्रतां क्वचित्. My dear gentle wife, never enter the water while bathing. Yeah, so there are these niyamas. If you refer into the Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is so much about how a Vaishnava should behave. What are the rules? There are 64, and in one of among them, one is this one. Never be angry, and do not even speak or associate with wicked people. Never wear clothes that have not been properly washed, and do not put on a garland that has already been worn. Na uchishtam chandikanam cha samisham vrishalahritam bhunjitodakyaya drishtam piben na anjalina tva apaha. Okay. Anjali means to bring hands together, Anjali Mudra. But don't drink. No. Piben na Anjalina tva apaha. So don't drink water with your by joining your palms. Sometimes we see now in a bore well or you're a tap and people will just bring the two palms together and drink. Yeah, this is not it's not should be followed. Never eat leftover food. Never eat prasad offered to goddess Kali. Chandika annam food. Chandika, whatever is offered to Chandika annam, and do not samisham vishralahritam. Do not eat anything contaminated by flesh or fish. Bunjitodaka. Do not eat anything brought or touched by a Shudra. And then, or not anything seen by a woman in her menstrual period. Do not drink water by joining your palms. Purport says, through all these instructions, Kashyapa Muni in a negative way instructed his wife Diti how to become a Vaishnavi. Nochishta sprishat, sorry. Nochishta sprishta salila sandhyaya muktamagdaja anarchita samyata vak nasambhita bahishcharet. After eating, you should not go out to the street without having washed your mouth, hands, and feet. You should not go out in the evening or with your hair loose, nor should you go out unless you are properly decorated with ornaments. You should not leave the house unless you are very grave and are sufficiently covered. With the purport, Prabhupada mentioned in the Oriental civilization, when a woman goes out onto the street, she must be fully covered so that no man will recognize who she is. Oriental civilization. All these methods are to be accepted for purification. If one takes to Krishna consciousness, one is fully purified. And thus one remains always transcendental to the contamination of material world. Prabhupada writes in the purport, Kashyapa Muni advised his wife not to go out onto the street unless she was well decorated and well dressed. He did not encourage the mini skirts that have now become fashionable. Yeah. Yeah, one should understand where are we going and for what purpose we are going to a temple or to a program or to a gathering. Yeah, so and should be careful that the sattvic mood is maintained in the gathering. Yeah. So for that, whatever is needed, one should take necessary care to cover oneself. And of course, yeah, one can very, I mean, it's a well decorated, well dressed is nice, but uh, it shouldn't be at the cost of actually exposing. This is what Prabhupada is meant here, or even Kashyapa Muni is telling to his dear wife. Na adhauta pada prayata, pada prayat, na ardha, sorry, na dauta pada prayata, nadra pada udak sirah, sayita na paran nanyer, na nagna, na cha sandhyayoh. So, you should not lie down without having washed both of your feet or without being purified, nor with wet feet or with your head pointed west or north. You should not lie naked or with other women or during the sunrise or sunset. Dautavasa Suchir Nityam Sarvamangala Samyuta Pujayet Pratarasat Prag Go Vipran Shriyam Achyutam. Putting on washed clothing, being always pure, and being adorned with turmeric, sandalwood pulp, and other auspicious items. Before breakfast, one should worship the cows, the Brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, the supreme personality of Godhead. Again, I repeat, before breakfast, one should worship the cows, the Brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, and the supreme personality of Godhead. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying, if one is trained to honor and worship the cows and Brahmanas, he is actually civilized. The worship of the Supreme Lord is recommended, and the Lord is very fond of cows and Brahmanas. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. In other words, a civilization in which there is no respect for the cows and Brahmanas is condemned. One cannot become spiritually advanced without acquiring the Brahmanical qualifications and giving protection to cows. Cow protection ensures sufficient food prepared with milk, which is needed for an advanced civilization. One should not pollute civilization by eating the flesh of cows. A civilization must be uh, something progressive, and then it is an Aryan civilization. Instead of killing the cow to eat flesh, civilized men must prepare various milk products that will enhance the condition of society. If one follows the Brahmanical culture, he will become competent in Krishna consciousness. I'll stop here and I'm just checking if Pratik Prabhu is here or maybe not. Fine. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any thoughts or questions?
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the nice recitation, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
Prabhuji, one question. Please don't take I'm focusing on the negative aspect. Of course, other things are all very much acceptable, but just one aspect where I got confused was Kashmir Muni says that don't eat or cook the things that are brought by Shudras. But if we see the life of Acharyas, also Raghavendra Swami, life, one incident I also sent you, Prabhuji,
Mhm.
they don't see the discrimination. And also in few parts of Bhagavatam, I feel like it's
Yeah.
all about equality and few parts. So I'm kind of
Mhm.
thinking, is it written by different people or, sorry, Prabhuji, I was sorry
I
to
think here we
spot
are
it.
talking. No, that's very important question. Yeah, that's. But I think here he is describing about the vrata. Yeah. He's
Okay.
not talking on a Paramahamsa platform and telling to a Paramahamsa and right. So
Oh,
here
sorry.
he is detailing out what vrata should be performed as it is. Yeah, we don't want to manipulate because now okay, Rather, here the emphasis is given on how to become as pure as possible so that one can perform this vrata as it is. Yeah. And now when the question is coming about, okay, what is fault in um, if someone who is a low born or not even, so not the upper three classes, maybe the third or the fourth one, Shudra. Yeah. So one should have the quality how he could digest the reactions. We know the consciousness of the cook goes into the preparation, isn't it?
Yes, right. That's true, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about great personalities like Raghavendra, Acharya, or others, they are setting that don't discriminate and don't avoid them, and all this. But at the same time, Brahman principles were also maintained. It's not that Raghavendra Acharya he just broke all the rules and regulations and made everyone is same, even Shudras, to mingle they can, So
Yeah.
he just made sure that in front of Lord everyone is equal.
Yes, Prabhuji. And only during this vrata we are not supposed to take, or because Prabhuji, like, in India, we don't know who brings vegetables, fruits, and all, right, Prabhuji? So,
Yeah. So, as sadhakas, we should be careful that we don't eat something that can harm our consciousness.
okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
I think
Okay.
not
So,
bringing vegetables, I think cooking, right?
Cooking, okay.
Yeah.
no, but still, I mean, Satish Prabhu is saying about, okay, if something is done by Shudras or, anyone, we don't know who's,
Yes, sure.
Kalau Shudra means in that way, everyone is Shudra, then we can generalize and say, okay, then what is the chance? But we are now talking how to become a devotee. Kashyapa Muni's interest is to make sure that, Diti can become a good devotee. And if your question is okay, but what is wrong if she eats something offered or by Shudra, cooked by a Shudra? Yeah, we know that the consciousness is affected. Yeah. And
Yes,
when we are talking about Shudra, we are not talking about any Shudra. We are talking about, here it's a general principle because there not be every Shudra is having great bhav like the one, the example that you are having in your mind.
yes, Prabhuji. I agree, Prabhuji. Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
not everyone is same. Yeah, because
Yeah.
not every. I mean, why I'm using this word? I mean, not everyone who has uh, more interest in sense enjoyment, they may not be interested in so much about this serving. Yeah, to go
Mm.
to temple also, they may not be interested. If one is offering that, such a person is offering food,
Yes, Prabhuji.
it won't bring
Yes,
anything. But
yes.
again, we can see from Mahabharata, we can see that Vidurji, if you say he is whose son he is,
Exactly, Prabhuji. Yeah,
Rasi's, uh,
yeah,
and Krishna didn't eat or what? He ate.
yeah, yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. So it depends on the
So it
uh,
depends. We are not it when we are talking about a vrata, we are talking about how everything is pakka according to
standards.
uh,
Yes,
the standards that need to be maintained.
yes, Prabhuji.
The ghee should be pure. Yeah. Now when we say, oh no, anyone can give ghee, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, one who is what do you call this? Uh, Maintains a slaughterhouse. Yeah, who is killing all animals, and then okay, I'm getting money, and let me use that money and buy the ghee and give it to the temple. Yeah, Prabhupada. There are cases there. It said no, don't accept.
yes, Prabhuji. Agree, Prabhuji. Also, they say, we should take ghee from a complete black cow is very special. All these, policies for some yajna. I
Mhm.
recollect, Prabhuji, my father used to say. Thank you, Prabhuji. So it depends on it's a vrata period, very specific, and also we don't know the mood of the person who's making the prasadam. So yes, Prabhuji,
Yeah,
we should be careful.
and especially in the end, we have to see to whom are we doing it. Yeah. If we are doing to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's different. Yeah. When we are doing it for Nrsimhadev, it's different. When we are doing for Lord Vishnu, it's different. So we also have to understand the standards of vratas, yeah, are defined such a way that based on the mood, yeah. For example, you might be very, very generous, and someone might be very, very strict, and both are okay. It is not like, okay, if you're generous, then only you are right. If someone is strict, then only he's right. In the end, if both of these are bringing a person close to Krishna,
Yes, Prabhuji.
the
Then
purpose is serving. So
yes,
some will come to you because they like generous mood. Someone will go to a person who is very strict because they like, oh, without strictness, I can't make it.
yes, Prabhuji. Agree, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for explaining.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
Thank you.
especially here we are talking about this Pumsavana. Next chapter is also describing more about this vrata that she is supposed to perform. So yeah, these are the standards maintained to be
Yes.
maintained.
Yeah, because Prabhuji, also in Tamil Nadu, they took all these things only, and a lot of this Dravidian movement flourished. That's why I was confused when I heard this, Prabhuji. But thank you for explaining, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks,
No, I mean, thanks for asking. Okay, so why we should not take prasadam that's offered to Kali? So if you're asking in the context of the, I mean, yeah, so here Kashyapa Muni is telling this. Yeah, so as it is, yeah, one who is following this vrata, who wants that what they want, yeah, they follow that. Yeah, very simple. And now why not Kalima? So usually it is said that when something is offered and there is tantric way of making offerings to Kalima, and which might be of a different standard. And the mood is again one who is usually one who is more predominant with the mode of passion they are actually making, yeah, these kind of offerings or cooking or worshipping, etc. So by partaking them, yeah, one may develop that consciousness. Yeah. And yeah, of course, when we're talking about, so if you can see that Shubhadra Mai is there, yeah, she is not different from Durga Devi, but in a different mode. Offering to Subhadra and offering to Kali is different. Yeah. I don't know if Navina Mataji may have heard about Kundalini and about Kriya. I don't know if these things click. Have you heard about Bagalamukhi or Varahi?
Varahi, I heard, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one who is interested in these kind of worships or in worshipping her, of course, they are also developing such consciousness, which is more fearsome, yeah, fearsome. And uh, once we went to Varanasi, and then there is some place they were saying, "Wow, this is very important place to go, Gavalam, some temple." And we went there, and of course, the temple itself was maybe uh, some prominent pravachanakar who would have told about that. Maybe it became famous, but actually there was in before the temple there was a mm, open air temple, so to say, where there was so much tantric things were performed. And then there is also a small kind of one room where all the different, kapalas and all these things are there. So one who is more trying to develop that kind of worship, yeah, they are doing all this Kundalini, Jagarana, and then for that, the mantras that they spell and the environment that they create is more of that. And what is offered to Kalima, I mean, to pacify her, of course, usually it won't be Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. It would be something else. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. In the case of that Diti is doing that vratam, it is not applicable for the Diti or anyone else, Prabhuji.
For everyone, for everyone. For everyone who is a Vaishnava. See, what does prasad means itself is that complete mercy. And Vaishnavas, we should train ourselves that we have full faith in Krishna. We have full faith in mercy of Krishna, that if Krishna's mercy is there, I don't need anything. And rather by taking prasad from anya devatas, we are saying, okay, let me get some benefit from here, from there. In fact, it is said if someone is, I mean, of course, maybe a bit detailed here, if someone is given prasad from, in this case, for example, if it is tantric way of worship like Kali, then definitely if one is given, or if you go to a vrata or something, if you get it, usually it is said that either one can leave at the trees or one can give to cows. Huh? One may think, oh, what is this so cheap mentality? No, it is said that one is developing such mood. And even if one develops or doesn't develop, doesn't matter, but we are showing to Krishna that, okay, I am keen on, getting benefit from here, there, everywhere. So this is the standard. Of course, if one is there or not, at least the standard is there for people who are Vaishnavas that they follow. If one is aspiring Vaishnava, if one finds it odd, maybe pray to the Lord, okay, the circumstances, and gradually when we develop, we'll understand that and we say, okay. Yeah, they are ways. Yes, Navina Matai.
Okay, Babaji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay then. Thank you. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। रंद्राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। हिताय गौर प्रेम। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.